Let's talk about this #1 ranked class for the first time ever in Tigers history. You got to be pretty excited.
Oh yeah, super excited. Especially since we signed them all in December. This has been a great day today. We didn't sign anybody. We got a few walk-ons that are going to join us later on in the summer, but special group and 12 different states. Last year, 14 different states. So it's a reflection of the growth of our brand and our reach as a program.
All right, Coach Swinney, it's Mark Rick. Just want to say hello to you.
What's up, man?
Congratulations. But I was back at Florida State with Coach Bowden for years, and it seemed like no one left the staff. You had one guy leave, Jeff Scott, went to be the head coach at South Florida. I mean, how valuable is that to have your staff stay together in getting a class like this?
Yeah, it's great. As you know, you're only as good as your staff, and we've had great continuity. We've had some change along the way, but I think when we have, it's just like in recruiting, it's getting the right fit. It's getting the people part right. There's a million good coaches, but good coaches that are great people, that are loyal, that are committed to our philosophy here. Then the pool gets smaller, and so after 2016 or 14, when Chad Morris left, we promoted Tony and Jeff, and I brought Brandon Streeter in here. What an unbelievable job Streeter's done with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. And then after the 16 season, Marion Hobby went back to the NFL, and Dan Brooks retired, coached for 60 years, seems like, and so we were able to bring in, I hired Todd Bates from Jacksonville State and Lemansky Hall, who came out of the high school ranks but had been an analyst for us for a couple of years. So those two guys have been amazing on the field and also in recruiting. So I think, and in this case, Jeff Scott, moving on to South Florida, Tyler Grisham, who was a great player for us here for 4 years and had a 4-year NFL career, and he's been back here for 6 years, 3 as a GA and 3 as a off-the-field, player development analyst guy. So he was ready to just step right into that role. So even though we lost a coach, Grish is ready to roll, and it still gives us the same type of continuity. But it's important, because you develop relationships out on the road. You can kind of get to second base in that you know who the young players are in your area and so forth. So it's definitely been a positive for us.
Coach, I want to talk to you about a 5-star that's not going to show up in the rankings today. Travis Etienne, #1, how that decision came about, why he decided to stay.
He's smiling.
And #2, what that says about your culture and your program that a guy with that bright of a future wants to come back for one more year.
Well, it says that he's loved his experience. Obviously, if he didn't like it here, was miserable here or whatever, he'd be gone. But everybody, as Coach Rick knows, when you sit in those meetings and you have conversations, some guys, it doesn't matter what you say, they got their mind made up. You can tell them, hey, you're not even going to get drafted, but they're going anyway. And that's okay. Everybody has different reasons for making decisions, different dynamics, family factors, whatever. But most of our guys are really sincere with the information. And then they have to make a decision with their family. But sometimes I ask them up front, I'm like, where's your mindset before we get into all this information? What's your mindset? And Travis actually told me before we went to the national championship game when he and I sat down and met. And he told me before I shared anything with him, he was really leaning to coming back.
Wow.
And he told me why. And then I said, okay, well, we've got a conversation we need to have, because he got a second-round grade, and for him it was like, he felt a little incomplete leaving here as a second-rounder without his degree. And again, that's for some guys. They go, second round, man, I'm on the first train out of here. But everybody has different motivating factors, and for him, it was he really wants to graduate, and he wants to. He's one of those guys that's he's got a chance to leave here in concrete. as you know, Mac, up on that stadium. I mean, there's certain things that he still wants to accomplish.
Yep.
And certainly getting his degree and being an example to his family and all those things were important. So it was good. So, yeah, he was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. And I think he just wanted to be re-ranked as a 5-star recruit.
He did that. He did that.
I re-ranked him, and there was just an article done the other day. It was a good article. I think it was on The Athletic, but they took our 2016 signing class, which was ranked 11th in the country, and re-ranked them, and we were first in the country with a 96% hit rate. And I think the next, this number 2 class was 73%.
Wow.
So, that's why I don't get caught up in all the recruiting stuff and all that. I just think, Travis is a perfect example. He's a 3-star recruit, and but re-ranking him 3 years later, he's a 5-star. So now it's based on performance, it's based on academics, it's based on, commitment, and all those things at this level. But no doubt, man, getting that number. I had a bunch of guys that were in line to take number 9. Coach knows the worst part of being the head coach is having to manage the numbers. The body's not even cold yet. The body's not even cold yet, and they want the number. It's like, can I get that number? Whether it's a guy leaving or, whatever. And so I had a long line of guys that thought they were going to get number 9, but that's going to be Travis Etienne for one more year.
What's up? Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. Don't forget to download the ESPN app, and if you want more premium content, which you do, make sure that you subscribe to ESPN+. See you soon.